Okay, hello again folks. We're doing the Icicle challenge this month, and what I'd like to do is add a video tutorial in addition to Jed's tutorial. Some people said they couldn't get the video to work, neither could I, but that's alright. I'm going to show you how I do it, which is similar but different. It's, as always with me, it's kind of the cheater's method. I'm going to experiment here with some clear that everybody is going to hate. This is Devardi clear. I have it kicking around. I've had it in my rod warmer, so like all my stuff that I use, it all goes in the warmer, and that makes it a lot easier to use. I've chosen 2 rods of clear because I'm going to show you a different way to do this. Jed has a great way. It works for him. It works for a lot of people. It would probably work for me, but I like doing things quickly, so I cheat. And this is the cheater's method of getting a rather large punty fairly quickly. You have to be careful when you're doing it this way. You don't want to fold in a lot of bubbles. Air will make your twisties or your marble or whatever it is you're working on very brittle. Even if you kiln anneal it, you really don't want a lot of air in your final product. And as you can see, all I did was take 2 of the same color. You could use 2 of different colors if you wanted to, however you want to do it. The point is that I'm just adding 2 rods mashed together, and that volume of glass will get me where I want to go faster. I want a little bit more flame, so I'm going to rest this on my rod warmer, hopefully, and give myself a slightly hotter flame. And again, always, anytime with 104, warm it up slowly. With this one also, using Devardi, you know you got to pre-warm those rods. I haven't tried this with my Devardi yet, but I know that this particular clear is a batch that has a lot of shockiness to it. You can see the bubbles in it. So I haven't used it. It's been kicking around forever. I do use it as a core for some things. I pre-warm it and then wrap the color around it and so on and so forth. So I'm going to give this a little heat, kind of get it moving. The real trick to heating and getting things going is your heat and revolutions. You want to keep spinning it. The idea is to get a big round blob. Whatever type of glass you're using or color combination you're using, we want a big round blob. Okay, I'm getting there. And just that fast, you can see I've got a big blob and I got 2 punties. My punties are fairly cool, but they're a little warm. That's okay. We're going to take it out of the heat, round it out a bit. Remember, revolutions get you your roundness. You could use a round roller if you wanted to at this point. I'm just going to kind of keep it round, keep the heat off the punties. And then I'm going to start doing mostly what Jed shows in his tutorial. What we want for the icicles is a flat disc type shape. Mine is not very flat at the moment, so I'm going to stretch it out and make it flatter. If you want to make your icicles really consistent, you could use a lentil press or marver like I've got sitting down here. That tells me how big my glob is. If your glob is always the same size, your gather is always the same size, you might get very similar sized crystals or icicles, and that's kind of the point. Now my punties, I'm going to cool down just a touch. There we go. Okay, so a little bit flatter. There we go. I'm just trying to get it a little flatter. I'm pressing and pulling at the same time just to get it where I want it. Now, a lot of people I've seen have one side that seems bigger than the other. This is directly due to the fact that one side is hotter than the other. The point is not to make one side hot, one side, cooler, because then it doesn't pull well. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start pulling and twisting. I keep it above the heat where the heat will keep it warm. Pull, pull, pull. Twist. It's a little too warm, so I'm taking it away from the heat, but still twisting. I want more heat at this end because I want this to be the bottom. So I'm pulling, I'm twisting. Now remember, you still need to make your bail. So you don't want to cut your punty off just yet, but you don't want the bottom of your icicle to be thicker than the top. So there we go. She ain't perfect, but she's all set. Now remember, we're dealing with 104. And in my case, we're dealing with the Vardy, so we want to keep the whole thing warm. Alright. I don't like this end. Actually, I'm not fond of the other end either. But I think we'll put the bail at this end. So I'm going to warm it up. No shocking allowed, so we're going to warm it up. I'm going to warm the punty. Now remember, people, I admit quite freely, I'm horrible at bails. So, this is likely not to succeed, but I am going to try. With every one of these, I'm going to try to make my bail skills better. Now, you let it get hot, you let it sag, it's getting too thin, I'm going to pull it out. Come on. Oh, I'm so lousy at this. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just lousy at bails. Alright, let it hang, let it cool. Flip it over and stretch, bring it in, touch it down, and now we're going to try to cut the rod off. Can't believe that worked. Here we go, cutting it off, sort of. So I'm going to have a little extra there. That's okay, because we all know how to get rid of extra. Don't go down to the other end. Just warm up a little bit of this. There we go. I'm gonna do two things here. I'm gonna open up my bail. I want it a little bigger. So I've opened up my bail. Now I'm gonna cut that little ugly snouty piece off. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. And polish it in. Now the other end has gotten very cool, because you can tell I have not flashed it in and out of the heat. So what we need to do here is get a hold of this nice and secure. We know this is going to pop off, so we're ready for it. We're going to cut it where I think it looks the prettiest. Oh, it's not popping, not cracking. I'm going to have to actually cut it. I've got a good grip on it with my tweezers. I want a nice bottom. There we go. And now I'm going to flash it. And voila. I don't like the bottom very much, so I'm going to clean it up with my tweezers. I want it to come down straight. And the torch is kind of straightening it. Oh good, it pulled it up into a nice drip, so I don't have to do anything. So there it is. Oh, can't show you while it's molten. But there's an icicle. And I'm going to put it right in my fiber blanket and be done with it. Ta-da! So when you are doing your thing and you're putting your stuff together, one of the things you can use